Hi friends, it's Deanna Williston from Our Blooming Catholic Life, and on this St. Valentine's Day, I want to remind all of us that is there any hope for me? Some people, this holiday isn't a great time. You could be a young adult who hasn't found a partner yet. You could be an adult who hasn't found a partner yet. You could be a widow or widower. You could be unhappy in your situation in so many ways, especially during this time towards the end of the pandemic. And there's been a lot of upheaval with jobs and schools, and so much has changed for a lot of people. This is a tough issue. One of the common suggestions is to live in the present moment. What if your present moment kind of stinks? What do you do? And so Ralph Martin has made this little booklet. You can see this is legit, just a little booklet. You can read this quickly. Honestly, it's packed full of scripture. Most of this book, I would say, is scripture, and I think you're really going to enjoy the read. It's pretty straightforward here. It is published, of course, by Renewal Ministries. It's just like $1 or $2. It's not much, and of course, there's a bulk discount if you need a bulk discount. You would just go to www.renewalministries.net. The copyright is in 2009. The scripture comes from the New American Bible with Revised New Testament by the Confraternity of Christian Doctrine. And it starts out here. I'm going to give you some highlights. Of course, if you're really depressed or having a crisis, call a mental health professional. This is not meant to replace that. This is just meant to supplement that and give you some hope if you're not quite that hard off as well. So sometimes it's just the daily disappointments of life and work that cause a feeling of hopelessness to rise in us. It seems we can never get ahead financially. There's another car repair in an opportune time. We have more serious trouble with a child. We're locked into a marriage whose moments of beauty are few and far between. We're trapped in a job that's not going anywhere. We've been fired again. We're unable to find a job. There's another medical problem. We experience isolation, loneliness, aging, and physical deterioration. Life is filled with arguments, misunderstandings, anger, and depression. We're forced to face the death of a parent, the death of a friend, the death of a child, our own death. But it's broader than that. A spirit of hopelessness pervades the very atmosphere in where we live. As we enter more deeply into the third millennium, a sense of hopelessness pervades the lives of many of our fellow human beings. Vast numbers are living lives of quiet desperation. As faith has been destroyed in the lives of millions, so also hope has died, and love has grown cold. Not only in the war-torn and famine-wrecked parts of the earth has hopelessness gained sway, but also in the post-Christian cities of Europe and America. The absence of genuine love, tenderness, and respect and fidelity in human relationships has led to a bitterness, cynicism, and despair that have made much of human life a struggle involving money and a futile search marked by loveless sex, filled with suspicion, the fear of betrayal, and incurable disease. I might have mixed that up with another couple words. We're going to jump ahead. He talks about that old story about looking for the fountain of youth or the cure for everything. What would you give for that ultimate cure? People would pay money for that. You don't have to pay money for that. It's right there in the Bible. There's really cause for rejoicing in here. And he reminds us again and again, I love this, pages 6 and 7. There really is a cause for rejoicing. Remember that Christ died for us. He rose from the dead for us. He's preparing a heavenly inheritance for us. He's interceding right now for us. The prayers of Jesus are worth more than any elixir you can buy on the shelves. Jesus is praying for us, and repairing that relationship is going to be very beneficial for us. It talks so much about how amazing God is, and hope is for the future, but will bring joy and courage to the present. So he's not saying not to focus on the present, but when you focus on hope, joy in the present is a natural consequence of that. It's like the old argument of faith and works, which comes first. We've got to have the faith, and the works are kind of an expression of that faith. They come out of there. But sometimes if you're not feeling the faith, you pray for faith, go out and do the works, and the faith should follow. You're saying to God, I'd really like this blessing and gift. And so just in this way, when you hope and really trust in the Lord, it's going to make it more easy to celebrate the little moments in joy that come along. And I love how he gives scripture verse after scripture verse talking about inheritance, the inheritance of Christ. Imagine he's the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the King of the universe. What kind of inheritance is he preparing for you? It's a lovely thought. I mean, literally, it's page after page of it, scripture references, and he tells you where they're from in the Bible. You can go look these up. Let me just give you one right here. Colossians 1:11-12. By the might of his glory, you will be endowed with the strength needed to stand fast, even to endure joyfully whatever may come, giving thanks to the Father who has made you fit to share in the inheritance of the holy ones in light. Again and again, the Bible speaks of our inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and God. It's just so much fun to see how much is in there. We always hear that the Bible is telling us, be not afraid, over and over again, but we don't hear about this one, the inheritance. It's there. We have hope. We know it's coming. It's okay. We can have faith and believe in that. And that kind of makes everything okay that's happening right now. Again, this is lovely. It gives you even more like Psalm 31. Be strong and take heart, all you who hope in the Lord. Rejoice in hope, endure in affliction, persevere in prayer. Romans 12:12. This is a great setup for Lent. It gives you really a heart for scripture study to really go in and look at the promises of Christ and look at how Christ moved in the lives of his beloved saints. You get to see that. You see how he really moved. How he sent them the Spirit to give them encouragement for when he was gone. Talks about groundless hope on page 21. Groundless hope. The only solid basis of hope that any man can have is to cast himself in the mercy of Jesus Christ and become heir to the glorious future of Jesus and those who are united to him. To hope in anyone or anything else is to assure ourselves a future of bitter disappointments. And he talks about that. The hope of the just and the hope of a wicked man. What? It's in here. Again, this is a tiny booklet. How many pages does it have? Hold on, let me get to it. It's almost there. It's so few, it's hard to get to. I'd say 30, but the last two are honestly telling you about other books. So page 28. 28 pages, and they're tiny, tiny little pages. It's going to take you no time at all for you to read that. And it's a lovely encouragement. I encourage you to get out and get it. I think it's going to really show you about hope. There is hope for you. There's hope for all of us. We just need to really trust and believe in Jesus. And this scriptures in here are going to lead you into a deeper study and hopefully deepen your relationship and comfort your soul. God bless you, friends.